episode of the Bowtie Chronicles, and we have our beloved brother here, brother Professor Adam, named after the first man and the first.
Mashallah. Alhamdulillah. You know, I had no idea what that name meant when I was young. I used to run from it.
Yeah.
I want to be named like you, like Bobby, like, you know. I was like, Adam, man, that sounds too square, man. That's how I became AJ, like real young, man. I was like, don't call me Adam. It sounds too much like a pilgrim, man. I don't want to sound like that. Alhamdulillah.
I want to go ahead and I want to be like Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea what I had.
So, without further ado, I had two topics that I actually wanted to get into, but depending on the situation, I did want to get inside of the topic of finances and so forth, but then also another topic. I'm gonna let you choose. I'm gonna let you choose from these right here, because I know finances is you know what I'm saying, that's one of your you're a stickler with that one. So
I like it definitely.
So definitely, if we don't get into that now, we definitely gonna get into it at a later date. The other thing that I wanted to get into was, there's a topic going around the internet right now, speaking on African American brother who's in Uganda right now, speaking. He's marrying a Ugandan sister, and another brother also in Kenya. And what they're doing is they're speaking on certain differences and characteristics as far as being with sisters from Africa versus being from the States. So I don't know.
Both hot topics.
Okay, yeah. So that's my whole point. Is that I don't know your point of reference as far as where you married from. So I didn't know if that was a topic that you would be interested in or not. So that's why I wanted to ask you. So it's up to you.
Well, I mean, you know, alhamdulillah, they both resonate for me. I mean, I have my wife is from Somalia, but you know, she has been in America so long. You know, I think that she's more of an African American than me. I'm just, you know, I'm seeing how a lot of the things that she, you know, holds on to is the stuff that, you know, I'm trying to run from. I'm trying to get away from, you know. So the traditional stuff that she knows about, that's just in her culture, that's the stuff that I'm, you know, trying to, you know, stick to. But it's interesting, you know, I think it just really depends on the level of exposure that each have had. You know, some people are going to be Americans ride or die, you know, and that's it, you know. And some people, you know, are going to want to venture out, you know, especially after their experiences in America. And anyone from, you know, another country, especially our own country, is going to, you know, connect. So it's an interesting topic. I mean, we can go back and forth, or you can just go with finance,
it's up to you.
or that stuff.
You know, the finance. I really wanted to bounce that around with you, because I'm in contact with several brothers, and we're in the process of organizing certain projects and stuff like that. And so the projects that I'm trying to, well, actually, I got my own project going on, you know, in Sudan, where I'm building 2 houses, and also I'm working with some other brothers, and we're trying to organize finances for those brothers to actually network and to get out and then go to one of the different countries on the continent. And so one of the countries that we're looking at right now is West Africa. And so what I'm thinking about is, you know, setting up organized co-ops. Okay. And so because I've recognized that co-oping is what all communities do. Somalians do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody, you know what I mean? So
everybody except us, huh?
And so you understand where I'm coming from. So these are the issues that needs to be addressed in relation to us. And so you know, without further ado, you know, I felt that, you know, it would be best addressed by someone like yourself that has that financial literacy and background to go ahead and really get into it at that level. You know what I mean? Because I got some basic outlines, some plans and stuff like that. But let me go in by asking you this right here. Of course, group economics is the only way for a community to actually develop and grow. Okay, so what would be some basic beginner group economic financial endeavors that would allow brothers like the brothers I spoke of that are trying to create revenue so that they can actually make moves, you know what I'm saying, go to the continent and purchase land and start building, and at the same time keep regenerating finances off of those investments.
Yes, it's a very, very interesting topic. And I have to say, first, if we're talking about Muslims, it's a different theory. It's a different theory because, the business model that we follow, American style or whatever, whether it be, capitalism and all these types of things, it usually doesn't fit well with Muslims because we try to avoid interest, and it's haram, so a half of us is saying, okay, get that money, but then it's like, oh man, I assume this loan of, 500,000 or $1 million, the interest on that is, so it's like, how do you justify, how do you do this, and some sheikhs will say that, if it's your own home, it's okay, and so there's all these different types of understandings about the riba, so, but it's still, whether you follow it or not, it's still on your heart. And that, I need to get out of this, I can't carry this, so that's the one thing, and I think this is what keeps a lot of us out of ownership, it keeps us, kind of just with the lower, side of economics, and so, and if we are that's cool too. If we're starting just from, grassroots, we're starting from the basics. And it just reminds me of myself. I didn't have any money and I refused to take a loan from the bank. They wouldn't give me one, of course, because, my credit wasn't good. So, since I wasn't gonna get one, I was like, okay, I don't want one. Yeah. But what I did do is I got the loans from the school, which were guaranteed student loans because, once you go to school, I don't care what your credit looks like, that you're guaranteed to get a certain amount, So I took that and I stacked it and I said, okay, this one last one I got. I went straight to, the auction. But again, I had, someone that I was working with. It wasn't just me. And as you say, group economics, is very important. You can't just do it alone. People have different thoughts and different ways of putting your ideas out. And it's like, you have 2 or 3 brothers that are thinking sharp and thinking, like you, or even they're Muslim, and you're saying, wait a minute, I never thought about this, so you need that, you can't just do it alone. Yeah. And so as you're saying, the property thing is good, if you're talking about, in other countries, but now I think you have to look at the times. Times have changed drastically. Yeah. What was cool 6 months ago is like, ain't cool now. Whatever you was doing 6 months ago, it's been redefined for you, and this whole COVID thing, whether, you believe it's a myth or not, it pushed everything to the edge. Whatever was going to happen is there now. Whatever education was going to do, it's there now. It's all online now. Yeah. Whatever, business was going to do, it's there. So everything now is online. And alhamdulillah, just what you're doing here is good because you're able to get, an idea out to so many thousands of people. You don't know who's going to be watching this. Somebody going to look at this and say, man, this brother's trying to do what, and next thing you know, you got people coming in with ideas trying to match with what you're doing, okay. So this is a very good medium. And I'm actually thinking of maybe doing some things like this myself, but just to get, the word out. Right now I'm looking at a lot of people that are, they're writing books, they're doing, everything, and they're putting it out there, whether it be clothing, they're doing, the African clothing, everything's online, and I'm seeing it. I'm like, wow, that's tight, selling kufis or selling, the thobes or whatever. It's nice. It's nice,
Okay.
I have a friend who is a non-Muslim brother. He's in Las Vegas, and he's doing a lot with this Alibaba. You go to Alibaba and they'll make pretty much anything for you, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, wow, I wouldn't mind having like one of these things, like a rack to hold like all the kufis. I got so many kufis. Where do I put them? Something, just small. And you may think it's small, but when you put it out there to the people, to the world, who knows how many hits you might get on this. Okay. And it may just be first time buyers, but it may be something that brings you a lot of money. There was a brother that just left here, and he started these bottles. I guess he went to Alibaba and he had these, workout bottles in the gym. And I forget what the brand name is, but these bottles are selling like, I don't know what, man. I'm looking around and people are, buying these workout, the water bottle. Yeah. Now he's starting to put the flag of every country on the bottle, So okay. I think it's just about, innovation, ideas, and trying to mix with this new trend of business, which is online. People are not really doing a lot of face-to-face stuff. Everything is online. So I think that you have to look at the times, and of course you have to look at your economics. Where are you sitting financially? If you don't have the money to do, those big ideas, start somewhere. Start small.
So now you see where the group economics ideal comes.
Absolutely.
In.
Absolutely.
Because if you really talk about trying to put something together, 9 times out of 10, sometimes you need somebody to rub some coins together with you. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you so sometimes, the brother who got the ideal don't have the coins.
Right.
And vice versa. Right. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like what I've been really on. And so what I've really been on ever since I've arrived to Sudan, and I was actually on this in San Diego. I was on I was trying to co-op there. Okay. And it was, brothers, they were like,
yeah, what?
Would you? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So my co-oping ideals are sort of drastic for the simple fact that brothers like yourself and I, we've been through some drastic measures, so we can make like harsh decisions upon ourselves. And go ahead and sacrifice like that. And so my ideal was at that particular time was more in terms of all of the families in the community. We all put a certain amount of money inside of a co-op together. And with that co-op, we buy, like the nation did in the past, when they bought the Peruvian, they bought the H&K, the whiting from
the whiting fish. Right.
Okay. Right. So my whole idea was like, okay, we buy dry goods, we buy beans, we buy rice, we buy all these type of items right here, and we buy other items that become a part of our staple diet. Okay. We're only eating these things, okay? Now we will throw some other things in there that are essentials that we can't pay for, okay? But for the most part, the ideals that we have as far as finances, we're implementing them upon ourselves and our families so as to gain a financial benefit. The benefit is that by buying as a collective, as a community, what happens is that you're going to get better rates, okay? You're going to be able to buy more, and what you don't use as a community, you can sell. So you set up a general store, and you're also able to sell to people that are not a part of the collective community, okay? At good prices. So now you're making your money back and
Mm-hmm.
your
I see.
your okay, and also
Mm-hmm.
you're eating from
Right.
that. So I still have the same ideals, but I want to
Right.
launch those ideals on a larger scale. So I'm working with some brothers right now to kind of
Mm-hmm.
co-op and get those ideals kind of like off the ground. And
Right.
but um, like you mentioned, the insurance thing, and that's a, you know, man, that, you can't even drive in America without insurance. You go to jail.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, you
No.
go to jail
Mm-mm.
immediately.
You
Police
better
look
not.
at you,
You better
yeah.
not.
The police look at you like
Sure.
you insane. You know what I mean? And yeah,
Man.
and
Mm-mm.
so
That ain't.
and so and
Mm-mm.
so so my idea with that was that instead of paying insurance like medical insurance, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we would pay ourselves that medical insurance,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
and pay for regular checkups. But if
Mm-hmm.
no major illnesses occur, then
You
we
get
got
that.
that. We got that
Yeah.
money. Yeah, we got that
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard something like that. I've heard something like that before, and that's good. That's good. I think that like where you are and where you've been, I've always been curious, to know like what are the possibilities of like exporting. There's always things that come freely over there. I mean, mangoes falling off the tree over there, and there's places that we're like, man, if I can just get that to that market, it could be it could be done. How come we haven't really reached those kind of levels? And it's maybe I just haven't been there and I haven't really seen what all goes into that. But it seems like there's some things that of course wherever you are is going to be necessary. Trust, all this group who you're working with, you have to be with a group of
Yeah.
trust.
You got to be
And
with
there
people
has to
you trust.
be purpose. Why am I doing this? Is it to better someone else? Is it to better myself? Is it maybe to do both? Am I just trying to come up, or am I trying to help with people? And it's always good. You talked about being in San Diego, and you had these ideas. People, depending on the type of business, they follow personalities. If they know, well, who's involved, who's on board with this. Oh, you got this, brother. Okay, then all of a sudden, it becomes something
Yeah.
that they want.
Yeah.
They want to roll with this,
Yeah, they want to
depending on
roll.
who it is. So that and who are the target markets. I've seen beautiful businesses go down. I remember the brothers had this very nice halal like a Mexican restaurant type thing, and all the food was halal. It was up on Elkhorn Boulevard. It was like I forget the name of it. Some cafe something, but it was about having the halal food, like a Mexican restaurant, and they fell, but the food was like excellent. But some of the things that they did, as far as the business, strategies, they had a whole lot of, they were heavy on one end, as far as the workers and everything. They had this look of like everything was there, but behind the scenes, things were falling because of that initial startup, So I think, there are ways that you can do it, coming from just without having, anything, if you get the right people involved. For me, there was a specialization because I like cars. I like cars. If I see a car, I can tell you what year it is, everything just from looking at the back. So it was something that I love. Sometimes you take something that you really, really love and turn that into a business, and it's like, it's not even like you're working. Some people like cooking, so they turn that into a business. And if it's something that you really enjoy, that usually makes it easy to be successful at it, because you're not gonna give up. If you're somebody that sews, or you're a seamstress, you're gonna always do that. So you're gonna start making thobes and abayas or whatever, so you're gonna be into that. So I think that you're on to something when you're talking about this group economics and having people kind of pull themselves in. But it seems like for me, this whole idea of trust, we haven't got together with the brothers who feel comfortable with each other, that's going to say, look, man, I'm down with this brother, I trust this brother. Everybody's thinking that everybody's thinking like them, and inside maybe their thinking is off, and it's like, maybe this brother's not even thinking like this, but everybody thinks that someone's going to try to one up someone, or maybe they not really about it, you know, they're going to take, you know, and so it's hard, man.
And that is one of the things that I touched on earlier with some other brothers, is that as a people, that is an area in which we need to we need to deal with those issues. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So the brothers in which you know, these initial ideals and things are with, these are brothers that, you know what I mean. I've been knowing these brothers, man, since my first time overseas. You know what I'm saying? So,
wow.
Yeah, and so, or actually, connections with them has been that long, because two of the brothers, we were overseas in '98 in Syria, and you know you know, all of us at one time were all in Syria. We studied there, and all of us came to Sudan at one particular time. Yeah. So and these brothers are, you know, very well learned brothers. You know what I mean? But the problem for a lot of our people is just being able to rub two nickels together. You know what I mean? And so my whole thing is that it's not about putting a lot of money together. It's about putting a little but being consistent. Okay. It's like when I was working in the States with the union. If a brother got in the union, he didn't miss payments. If he lost his job, he didn't miss payments.
That's right.
And so my whole point is that how can we have that kind of
commitment?
Commitment to that, and not have the same type of commitment to something that's ours. See, I have a problem with working. I don't have a problem with working hard. I have a problem with working hard for something that's mine versus working hard for somebody else's stuff. I'm gonna work hard regardless. But my whole thing is that, you know, I feel that we should go harder in the paint when it's ours. That's just
absolutely. And it seems like it's the reverse. It seems like we bring our A game, and we bring our best to the other, you know. And I've seen it. I've been sitting down in meetings with people. I'm like, man, you know, but you know, as we get together collectively in a group, I don't know what it is. You know, we don't have that fire. We don't have that desire.
Because
personal. You
know, what is that though? I mean, those are issues that definitely, you know, not to digress, but those are issues that we need to. I feel that issues that need to be addressed with our people, so that we can actually, because before they dealt with a lot of these issues, and that's why you had so many prosperous Black towns, because they were able to do that, and so they knew they needed each other. You know, we you know, this state of delusion that we're in, you know, and not being able to actually trust one another when it comes down to basic issues of finances, and you know, that's, you know, and I'm, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I got a group of brothers. We've been in Sudan now for I don't know how long, you know. Man, some of them brothers been there more than 20 years.
Wow.
And it is difficult to get them to come together on certain issues. And so you know, these are just issues that I have, and so that's why I've always been, you know, the things that you've heard about me, I've always done things on my own, for the simple fact that I don't have time for that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? People are not, you know what I mean? Okay, cool. I'm gone. I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
You know? And sometimes that's really what it takes. You know, that's really what it takes. You know, somebody just to get the ball rolling anyway, and say, look, you know, I'm gonna kick this off. I'm gonna do this. You know? But that is an issue probably for another discussion. You know, why is it that we have this commitment towards, you know, other things, but when it comes to us, you know, it's like, you know, there's questions, there's doubts, there's a lot, so, but we definitely can't let that stop us. If it did, we wouldn't do anything. We wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, we wouldn't do anything. Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this right here. So what would be a if you had say you had 4 to 5 brothers, or the lowest number, say you had 3 brothers, what would be a minimum monthly fee to have brothers pay? Because the reason why I'm asking that is because I'm looking at our economic level, when we talk about brothers in the States, and so I'm dealing with people like my wife, she's in this same type of thing, this co-op thing, and every month they put in like bare minimum. You know what I mean? It's like, it ain't $20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
$20.
but they ride or die with it, and
right.
the benefits that come out of it afterwards. And so that's all I'm saying. And they're not suspecting the other person. You understand what I mean?
That's suspicious. Yeah.
Suspicious like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, what would be a minimum to require a group of brothers or sisters to, because sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes you just gotta roll with the sisters, man.
What I've seen, sometimes it's good to include them in everything, man, because believe me, man, it's a reason that they see things in the way that they do. Sometimes I've been looking at things and my wife is just like, well, what about this? I'm like, wow, man, I wasn't even thinking about this. It's like, you need that. You really, really need that. So minimums, bare minimums. I think it really depends on what the people are making, what sort of wages they're bringing. And again, what is the goal? Because a lot of times if people don't really know what the goal is, they're not really going to put the money in. They're going to say, well, what am I doing this for? I put in 50, the brother here, they want to know what is it for?
Yeah.
But,
okay. So goals at the moment, okay. The bare essential goals are, it's a co-op to create a revenue base so that when lands are purchased as a community, the land can be then divided up, and once it's divided up, everyone has a plot of land, and we have a general store on the land, okay? And any finances that remain, and also because we're going to continue doing this until the end of time, so any finances that remain and any finances that we continue to put in will go towards the building and the financing of the general store and the masjid. So that now you talk about putting finances together, rubbing coins together to actually build a community. Okay. And so I'll give a country as an example. Say you one of the target areas is Ghana. Okay. And so you say, okay, we need to get 1,000 square meters or 2,000 square meters or 3,000 square meters. Okay. And so we got 4 brothers. Okay. And so what we want to do with 4,000 square meters or 5,000 square meters, is that every brother gonna get 500 square meters. Okay. Because I got 500 square meters. I got 3 500 square meters. So I'm giving that number because that's a reasonable size. Get you a nice house, backyard, front yard, get everything you need. You know what I mean? Garden, the whole shop, patio, you know what I'm saying? And so 500 square meters, everybody gets 500 square meters. The rest, we're going to put a masjid on it for the community. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to build a general store also connected to the same building, which is the masjid, and have stores, okay, connected to it all around with a medical clinic. So with all of this that you're putting in, the future goals is so that you go overseas and you become self-sufficient. Because a lot of times brothers get overseas and they they're not they're not we got some brothers that think that when they get overseas people should give them things. So
yeah,
we still got those.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, we still got them brothers though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I seen brothers stand out in front of masjids, with their hands out.
Really?
Yeah, I done seen some. Yeah, I done seen so much stuff, man. My eyes, I am not amazed at anything.
Wow.
I have seen some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm up like, you come way over here for this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, subhanAllah. So
wow.
So that's the framework for the ideal. Okay. So so a basic for some people, like you said, their job may require them to only put in 100. One brother, it's easy for him to put in 200. Okay. And so given that he puts in a larger amount when things built, as far as the community space, okay, he should be allotted more community space for his businesses if he puts in, you understand what I mean, more money, because depending on the ratio as far as the percentage you put in, okay, you should be reimbursed. But a brother can say, you know what, I want to be treated like everybody else. So okay, forfeit that.
Okay. Well, that's good. Sound like you got some good brothers around. That's good. I like that.
Look, I wish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For what a lot of our people, like I said, we have ideals, but the people who got the coins are not necessarily always connected with the brothers who have the ideals. We got brothers that are on the ground all over Africa that got
Thank you for listening in. And if you liked what you've seen and heard, stay tuned for part 2. Please subscribe, share, and like. Once again, thank you.